This is the historical development of management. Evolution is similar to the historical development. Thoughts or principles of historical development of management theories and practices. Or trends in other historical trends. I need not to do a feedback of first lesson, no? Did I revise that? No. We did the first introduction to management, no? Yeah, we define management. Then describe the process of management. Then after that, we considered the significant importance of management. Then we also considered different skills, types, levels, roles of management. Finally, we considered how to be successful manager in the modern business world. Then we study a case from the ebook. Then I gave a question, comment on the Mr. Wilson's idea about management. At least giving 5 comments. Then I explained the course outline also, no? The first day. Course outline about the assignments. Then we are having an individual class quiz. Then you have team. We have teams. No? Then we have to form the teams today or on the next day. Otherwise, you can't work to gather information and to prepare the concept book. Right. Then how we define management? As a process of planning, organizing, leading, controlling resources of an organization efficiently to achieve its goals effectively in a changing environment. We also consider Mary Parker Follett as defined management as an art of getting things done through others as an art. This the process aspect is used to consider it as a science. Then we have to consider all the principles together as a system to consider it as a science. And all human aspects can be considered it as an art. What should be considered that? Right. Then we consider management process. With the system theory, system thinking. Right. Then we noted that organizations are operating as open systems in external environments. They are getting resources, so inputs from the internal environment. Sorry, external environment. As the physical, financial, human, and information resources. Right, which are converted. In the conversion, we considered planning, organizing, leading, controlling together as a process. Right, then through that conversion, they are getting outputs of performance in different ways, which are also going back to the external environment. That ensures organization survival and growth. Right. Then behind the survival and growth, we had another diagram to say why management is important for organizations. Right. in the diagram, we consider efficiency in one side, effectiveness in one side, both the scale from low to high. Then, as now I mentioned, in a proper management, right? In proper management, organizations should ensure survival and growth, success. Other places are not separate. Yeah, no management at all. Yeah, organizations will die quickly and slowly. Then after that, we consider three skills of management, as mentioned by Robert Cards. Conceptual skills, human skills, and technical skills. Using a diagram, we consider human skills are equally important for all managers and workers. Conceptual skills are mostly required for senior managers, moderate to middle managers, and reach to lower level managers. Finally, we consider the importance of technical skills, which are highly required for lower level managers and employees, moderated to the middle managers, and least to the top managers. Then looking at the vertical differences, we consider three levels of managers: top managers, middle managers, and lower level managers. But managers also can be identified looking at the horizontal differences as functional managers, line managers, staff managers, general managers, project managers, and so on. All positions can be found in modern workplaces. Right. Then we also identify different roles introduced by Henry Wiesberg. He has introduced the three sub-roles, three headings: interpersonal, informational, decision. In the first two, there were three each. Right. Figurehead, leader, reaction are the three interpersonal roles. Then monitor, disseminator, spokesperson are the three information roles. There are four decision-making roles, as entrepreneur, resource allocator, disturbance handler, and negotiator. Then after we considered how you can appear as a new manager. First, I mentioned that you should show your independence to show your personal identity. But when you work in an organization, work with others, you have to develop interdependency, not the dependency, interdependency also, with the teamwork orientation. Right, then we further elaborated that comparing what has happened in the old world years and what is now happening in the modern world. Then after we considered these ways managerial competencies that should be developed today. Right. Then after that, we studied the small case. Give some comments. Right, then with that foundation knowledge now, you can study this also. Right, here, two things that should be considered. First, we have to consider the major forces influencing the evolution of management practices. But then after that, using the diagram, we can identify them. I have used only three, but not only these three. All external environmental forces like globalization, technological, socio-cultural, legal, political, economic, natural, all can influence managers and researchers to rethink of management concepts. These will make the evolution of management theories and principles given into. But we can't forget the history, what has happened, presented in the history of management. We have to use them also with the new needs. Right. Then, as mentioned here, social forces, economic forces, political forces can influence the evolution of or historical principle management. Right. Social forces involve the different aspects of cultures and relationships of people based on different nations and countries or regions in the world. Based on that, to match with these, the management theories concepts should be evolved. Then, as economic forces, the distribution of resources in societies should be much considered by organizations to utilize resources in their ways and to achieve the goals. Then looking at the influences of political and legal institutions, even at the global level, geopolitical level, now organizations, in the world market should be able to comply with the government regulations, government roles, policies, and political systems, ideologies. But we also should consider other influences of the environment, natural environment. Even it is the most powerful environment today, bringing a lot of unexpected events like pandemic, then natural disasters, raw material shortages, power crisis, everything. And to match with these, that's why I think a lot of organizations are now practicing green concepts to safeguard the natural environment. Therefore, this is the first one we should consider, but why management theory should evolve to cater into these forces, changes in these environmental forces. Then number one is the globalization. The increased globalization can shape these environmental forces also, this globalization. Then all businesses should understand that they are now operating in the global market. Even a local company cannot escape from that. Because in a whole local market, there are multinational products and brands. Petrol card, petrol card, multinational. Coca-Cola, Pepsi-Cola, there are many multinational brands. The local companies also can compete with that. But some local companies are doing that properly. Manufacturing personnel, a mask, vendor, they are doing now. If I take as well. But then we will move to the second one, main part. Yeah, we can use this diagram. Then I mentioned that in this lesson we have to consider historical trends in management. Those can be in two types. Early historical trends in management and recent historical trends in management. These are the two types. Then under two, we have to identify the key managerial perspectives. Management perspectives. The classical perspective, humanistic and quantitative perspective can be considered under the early historical trends. Then system thinking, contingency view, these new aspects of management can be considered under the recent historical trends. Early and recent. Right. That's how the history can be considered, evolution. Early trends, recent trends. Right, then we will consider the key principles proposed in these perspectives over time by gurus, management gurus. Right, under the early classical perspective, first one, we can consider three sets of theories. First one is scientific management. Second, bureaucracy. Third, administrative theory, administrative principles. Then scientific management emphasizes to enhance the worker productivity, efficiency, using scientific management principles and practices in workplaces or in organizations. Right, these are the key principles. F.W. Taylor introduced this scientific management school of principles. Therefore, Taylor is considered as the father of, not management, father of scientific management. Right. He has used the ideas introduced by early economists like Adam Smith, Albert Marshall. Management actually evolved from economics. Marketing also evolved from economics. After the industrial revolution, with the industrial revolution. Then designing or performing or designing jobs in an organization and using standard or scientific methods. Then selection of workers scientifically, looking at their abilities, skills to the job. Then training them, also using standard methods, and supervising workers to eliminate their interruptions and waste, and motivating workers through wage incentives are the key ideas proposed by Taylor in the scientific management. Even today, these are happening. These principles are used by managers, but with some other new principles. All these are used today, in order to enhance the worker productivity. Okay, is that enough? Know about the scientific management. At this level, it is enough, right? Because the subject is indicated as management fundamental. This is the fundamental. That's a process. You can get the Latin document. Right. Honeymoon එකේ කරන්න තියෙනවා තියාගන්න ඕනේ ඉදිරියට. දැන් කලින් කරන්න ඕනේ නැහැ. ඒක honeymoon එකේ කරන්න දෙයක් නැති නේ වගේ තමයි. පදේ මම ඔක්කොම ඉගෙන ගන්න ඕනේ නැහැ. මේ අසත ලෙවල් එකට නැට් එක ඉගෙන ගන්න. මැනේජ්මන්ට් උනත් තියෙනවා. Right. Then next one. Bureaucracy. Who presented that? Max Weber. Then Taylor was an engineer. F.W. Taylor was a mechanical engineer. Taantric engineer who was a manager and management and others. These are the managers and when discipline on that. Right. Then Max Weber was a German sociologist. German Samaj Vidya. That's it. No? Right. Then he presented the principles of bureaucracy. Even today, which are used, especially in public organizations, government, and in private organizations as well. Main purpose of using the bureaucratic principle is to manage organizations logically, rationally, impartially. Right. My business එක පවුලේ විනාශව තියාගන්න කියලා කියන්නේ නේ. ඒ bureaucracy principle තමයි වැඩ කරන්නේ. Then addition of labor, but initially introduced by Adam Smith, Scotland economist in 1776. That's a right. It is the first principle mentioned by Weber under the bureaucratic principles. For task specialization, division of labor. Other theory that used them. I think that under that. Then hierarchy. The identified jobs in the organization should be organized from top to bottom, top level to the bottom level, lower level. Right. Then managers should introduce rules, regulations, procedures to follow them. Even they also should follow them. Right. Then only behavior can be managed predictably. Employee behavior can be managed in a predictable way. ආයතන වල තියෙන්නේ සමාජයේ තියෙනවානේ සමාජ ධර්මතා තියෙනවා විధి රීති තියෙනවානේ සම්ප්‍රදායන් තියෙනවා අපි ඒවා අනුගමනය කරන්න නැත්නම් සෝෂල් ලෝඩ් එක මේන්ටේන් කරන්න ඕනේ සමාජයේ කියන්නේ සෝෂල් ලෝඩ් එක සමාජ ක්‍රමය නඩත්තු කරන්න බෑ ආයතනයකටත් තියෙනවා right then as I mentioned managers are separated from owners of a business. Company එකට මේක අදාළ වෙනව තනිත් ඒ වගේ තියෙනවා. එයා ආකල්පේ දෙනවා. Right. Then all administrative decisions made by managers should be recorded. Hard copy වල හරි soft copy වල හරි record කරලා තියාගන්න. As evidence. Right. Then all employees should be selected as well as promoted looking at their technical qualifications. Right. Even today, organizations, managers follow this. ඒක නෑ අපි කරගන්නේ මේවා qualify වෙන්න. ඊට පස්සේ තමයි apply කරන්නේ. නැත්නම් promotions ගන්න වෙන්නේ. Qualifications අවශ්‍යයි. Right. Therefore, these are the key bureaucratic principles introduced by Max Weber, which are also have similar explanations about scientific management principles. No, therefore, this is also considered under the classical perspective as a early historical trend in management. Right. Another one is remaining. No? What is that? Administrative theory or administrative principles introduced by Fayol. Fayol was a French industrialist. Pansajatika Karmikati. Right. He introduced a lot of things. Actually, these 14 principles cover most aspects of management. Therefore, Fayol is considered as the father of management, father of overall management. कल्पना करने पिया तेला विद्यार्थी कल्पना करने पिया मैक्स वेबर निलबल वादे पिया निलबल करने पिया तो अमेरिका को बोलता हूँ माँ वाले कल्पना करने माँ वाले लगे यार नकदी वाली बात कल्पना करने ना पिया यार चेन मैनेजमेंट म्यूजिक के लिए मत करा आज बात कथा करने लगे मैंने पैसे का गला भी नहीं कर पुलिस दिया नहीं इला कर कथा करने humanistic perspective. Then Fayol has presented these 14 principles, which are considered as 14 universal principles in management. लोके प्रारंभ में भाविता करना होने में कल्पना कर होना मायत नहीं व्यास का मनोवना मेवा अनिवार्य मुकुल को डगन होने के लिए first they are very similar to the right principles presented by other two no in the classical. Right. First one is addition of authority or hierarchy, then disciplining rules regulations. Right. Others are somewhat new. No, he has presented new unity of command. That means in any organization, a subordinate to employee should have only one boss, immediate boss. Right. Then unity of direction. It is similar to the departmentalization. No? Looking at the similarities of the jobs, they should be grouped into one department or division. Right. Then I was taking the in production department, marketing, sales, finance, accounting, HR, overseeing departmentalization. Next one, subordination of individual interest to organizational interest. They can goal congruous, goal congruous. Manager should be able to help achieving worker goals, and that should be directed to achieve the company overall goals. Goals should be matched. Right. Then remuneration of staff. No? So looking at the contribution, performance of employee, manager should be able to fairly treat them, reward them with both financial and non-financial rewards. But make the value financial, make the value moving question financial rewards. Right, during this time. Author studies only change that mindset. Author studies. Right. Another 7, no? To be 14. 8th one is centralization. The most decisions should be in an organization should be made by the upper managers, but a certain decentralization also should be done. Then scalar chain or scalar principle. All the chain of authority or authority of an organization should be distributed from top level to the lowest level, and people should perform or report from lowest to the top level. That's the whole hierarchy. But the unity of command should be identified in 2 immediate nodes in the hierarchy chain. This is about the whole chain. Order. Then all resources should be ensured at the right place, at the right time, at the right quantity. Right. It's the meaning of order. Otherwise, business functions cannot be done. Then they should be interrupted. Right. Equity. Managers should treat employees with kindness and fairness, kindness and fairness, or equitably. Right, then stability of staff, those would help to reduce or maintain the labor turnover in the accepted range. Otherwise, people will leave. But in some employee categories, there are high labor turnover. Especially in garment, Sri Lanka, garments, manual workers are leaving. In plantation, also high labor turnover. Deep plugging. We can't find deep pluggers in Sri Lanka. Now, it's a national problem. People are leaving for the high educations and for jobs. While doing education, they try to do jobs. While doing jobs, they try to have education. It is a national problem. But all these are considered for the organization. It's been on the I think now I think for the land to Samajika Yudagan, Samaja neither right. The leadership Katana, I think leadership for then up to national leadership, Chandakin, Janapati was the Minister Balani. How they in the Sapex on the Kenny, Janapati was. Take it. Leadership, I think it is a Kotuka Lakata and debate. That a global leadership can I cut here influence can not after that India, America, Russia, China, Gabalagi. Geopolitics, they have geopolitical agenda. ඉස්සරක රතු රජුට අනිත් පැත්තටනේ එහෙම බලපෑම් කළා වෙන්න රටවල් වලට පරාක්‍රම බහු රජු එහෙමනේ තමයි මේ සේනාව අරන් ගිහලා එහෙ ගහලා බිසෝවරු ඉතින් අරන් ආවේ කට්ටිය නේද මෙහෙන් අරන් ගිය බිසෝවරු ආයේ ගහලා කොහොම හරි අරගෙන ආවනේ ඒ වගේ එක දැන් එක හරියට දැනට වඩා හොඳට ලංකාවේ මැනේජ්මන්ට් මේ දවස්වල තිබිලා තියෙනවා ලංකාවේ අපේ රජක මැනේජ්මන්ට් තාම ඒවා නටබුන් විදිහට හරි තියෙනවානේ තාක්ෂණික භාවිතා කරලා තියෙනවා සම්පත් යූස් කරලා තියෙනවා ඵලදායකතාවයේ උපරිම විශ්වයේ වැඩ ආරම්භ තියෙනවා නේද වැව්වෙන් බලපෑම සාගර වගේ දාගැප් කියන්නේ සාලින් සම්පූර්ණ කරගෙන කරලා කොහොමනේ ලකේ කලාව ප්‍රතිකලා ඉන්දසේ කර්මාන්ත ඔක්කොම මේ කාලේදී පාදන්න බැරිලා ගියවනේ. විගණ කර්මාන්තෙද, මෙටි කර්මාන්තෙද, පේශ කර්මාන්තෙද, කෘෂි කර්මාන්තෙද, වාරි කර්මාන්තෙ ඔක්කොම කර්මාන්ත තිබිලා තියෙනවා. දැන් නෑ අපි රට නෑ වෙන රටවල කර්මාන්ත. Yeah. Right. Then how to develop the country without having industries? Right. Then initiatives, initiatives. Then senior managers should have the initiatives, but they should consult. They should consult other managers and employees, in making a decision. But senior managers should do initiatives. But that means they also should empower employees, It is called now corporate entrepreneurship or intrapreneurship, සේවක ව්‍යවසායකත්වය ආයතනික ව්‍යවසායකත්වය නෝක තමයි අද අලුත් නම් වලින් ඉන්නේ ප්‍රයෝගික කොහොම තමයි සේවකයෝ මැදිහත් කරගන්න ආයතන තීරණ ගන්න නිර්මාණ සූත්‍ර කටයුතු කරනවා රාජකාරී උත්තර පිළිලා තියෙනවා එන්න නැති මණ්ඩලයක් හිටියා ප්‍රොෆෙසර්ගේ ලේබර් එක පව අරගෙන තමයි වතරේ ඒකට විදියට අnder තිබිලා තියෙනවා ඉතින් රජය අනමතවානේ ඒකටත් බය මිනිස්සු බයටත් වැඩ කරලා right last one aspects of teamwork esprit de corps Latin terms that's meaning of teamwork work harmony it is also highly essential because organizations have at common goals strategic goals only satisfying or achieving individual and group goals is not enough that is for optimization The sub-optimization should be able to optimize the corporate goals and performance at the end. Do that. This is highly essential. Teamwork is highly essential. No? Right, that's how the 14 principles introduced by Powell should be understood. They covered a huge part of management. Therefore, we should still treat him as the father of management. It cannot be broken down. කාටවත් කඩන්න බෑ. අලුත් පාද කෙනෙක් සෙකන්ඩ් පාද කියලා කියන්නේ නැහැ නේද? පාද නම් පාදම තමයි. ඉතින් වඩා නැහැ කොහොමද? බස් ලේඩි ප්‍රයිම් මිනිස්ටර් ඒ රෙකෝඩ් එකයි කඩන්න බෑ කාටවත්. මේ කාන්තා අගමැතිවරු ඉන්න නමුත් ඒ රෙකෝඩ් එක කඩන්න බෑ කාටවත්. ලංකාවේ තමයි සිනමා මෙතන. These are examples. I am not supporting them to any political party or leader. Explaining this. As examples, academics politics කරන්න හොඳ නෑ නේ. දැන් අපේ රටේ නම් පණවෙලා තියෙන්නේ academics. දේශපාලඥයෝ පස්සේ ගිහින්. ඒකට මැක්කොත් එක්කම තමයි නැගිටින්නේ බලන්න එක ගිහින්. Academics should have their own independence. Give the views, bias, not a bias way, not in a bias way. Right, that's how the classical perspective should be understood as the first one in the early historical history of management. Even today, we have to use the ultimate aim of these is to enhance the smooth administrative function of the organization, or have a perfect or total organization, very logical organization. But we can't achieve this 100%, but even today, we have to have these guidelines. Otherwise, we can't manage the resources. Efficient. Yeah, someone business එකක් ගත්තොත් ඔය බලාපොරොත්තු වෙනවානේ. business එකකට අත ගන්නවම තමයි තියෙන්නේ මේව අවශ්‍යයි කියලා. ඒකට ඔය ටික තමන් ප්‍රොසීඩරයිස් කරන්න. නැත්නම් වෙන කාට හරි පවරන්න. employee කෙනෙක් විදිහට බලන්න කිය අයියෝ මේව මම පිස්සුද කියලා අපිට මේවා මේ difficult. මේවා දාන්න මැනේජර් කෙනෙක් විදිහට තමයි ලැබෙන්නේ නෝනේ. should have the managerial perspective to understand the importance of this. No? But in setting these, managers should have the employee perspective also. Then those are discussed in the next perspective, under the humanistic perspective. That is also in the early historical way. Right. Then humanistic perspective emphasizes the importance of considering to understand human behavior, human deeds and human attitudes in the workplace. No? Then they say that managers should allow human interactions and group processes to enhance the performance. Not only considering the technological dimensions mentioned in the classical perspective. You have to consider the human dimension. Therefore, now organizations are considered as socio-technical system. Socio-technical system, not only as technical system or social system. Both should be combined together. Therefore, now today organizations are considered as socio-technical system. The technical part was already introduced, no, with the classical principles. But social part should be considered with the humanistic perspective. Yes. Right, then in the previous one we had 3 principles, no? Here we can identify 4 pillars. This is one. Early advocates the contribution, then human relations movement with the author findings. human resource perspective with these motivational theories. Then behavioral science approach with contribution of all these different disciplines to manage. All these should be summarized under the humanistic perspective. Right. Then these two scholars and their ideas should be highlighted as the early advocated ideas to management, and they have set the directions towards a humanistic perspective. Then Paripaka Colette, she's the one who defined management as an art. In addition to that, she considered the importance of worker participation, having shared goals, leadership, worker empowerment, and change management by managers. Even today, all these are happening. Therefore, she is treated as the mother of management. Then Chester Bernard, as top manager, worked for General Electric. He was a practitioner. He also shared experience in books. He mainly focused on the use of informal communication, informal teams, or informal organization, and how authority should be used with this acceptance theory of authority. Right. Then all these help other humanistic scholars to present their ideas. But I think these two also might be using the Fayol side. Ideas introduced by Fayol. That's why Fayol is treated as the father of management. Right. Then under the human relations movement, we have to much consider with the deep credits the Hawthorne findings. Elton Mario and others carried out this in Chicago, Hawthorne city in the Western Electric Factory. By the time the researchers and practitioners knew that only physiological elements, factors can enhance the worker productivity. Right. But in a particular time, while enhancing the physiological factors, the worker productivity went down. Right. Then they knew that there are other factors also. Right. Influencing worker productivity, not only the physiological factors. Then they invited Elton Mayo and others to carry out the series of Hawthorne studies. Right. Then finally, they found that not only the technological factors, the social context factors like social conditioning, group norms, interpersonal relations, and dynamics are also considered by workers while doing the job. Therefore, it said that managers should consider these factors also to increase worker satisfaction and performance. Right. Then this is the landmark for the development of human aspects in management. Right. Then with these findings, I think researchers try to study human behavior using different methods, research methods. Therefore, we have to consider modern organizations as socio-technical entities. Socio-technical entities. Right. There's another contribution. Next contribution is the human resource perspective, where the theories of motivation should be used to design the tasks, duties of a job. But there are many other motivation theories. I have selected these two here. The first one, the pioneer's basic motivation theory, is the five needs theory introduced by Abraham Maslow. Maslow was an American psychologist, American Manovidyay. Right. Then Douglas McGregor was also a psychologist. He introduced the XY theory. In the needs hierarchy theory, Maslow introduced those five needs, which are commonly considered by us in all the time. What are the five needs? We try to satisfy physiological needs, not psychological, physiological needs. Then safety needs. During the pandemic and in the entire world, much considered on this, safety and health. Third one, social needs or love and belonging needs. Samajavashya. Then there are two other psychological needs, esteem needs and actualization needs. All needs are tried to satisfy by us, no? Maybe as a consumer, as a customer, as a person, as a manager, as an employee. Everywhere we try to embark on these five needs. Right, then when we consider XY theory, it can be used to identify the two types of behaviors of workers. And to match with these two types of behaviors, it says that managers should be able to select and use the particular leadership style to match with them accordingly. Right, then as to the X theory, managers assume that workers are average, workers are lazy at work, they are not willing to take responsibility unless the managers are assigned. Therefore, these characters are very negative characters about the worker behavior. Then, if such behaviors are presented by the workers, then theory says that the manager should be able to use very autocratic, commanding leadership style to get the task from these employees. Right. But a different style should be used by managers when employees have shown the assumptions mentioned by the Y theory, which are very positive. Right. It says that in average, workers are willing to take the responsibility. They try to do perform. They are less dependent on the boss. Their motivation happens not only with the financial rewards, but with other rewards also. The next workers' motivation happens with the financial rewards only. Therefore, to manage Y type of workers mentioned here, the manager should be able to use very participative leadership style. That's how the outcomes of these theories, psychological theories, motivation theories should be understood, used by managers. These give guidelines to know how to manage the human resource. Human resource means employees in the workplace. And this is the last one in the humanistic perspective. Therefore, management is a developed subject, no? Borrowing concepts or principles from these behavioral sciences and social sciences. There are four behavioral sciences contributed to management. They are psychology, sociology, social psychology, and anthropology. In addition to that, economics and other social sciences have also contributed to understand human being and their interactions. Therefore, this perspective can be used to develop organization with people orientation. Right. Even change management, no? Used by managers today should be considered with this approach. Human behavioral science approach. Otherwise, they cannot get the support of the people to implement these practices in the organization. Right, that's the role of the humanistic perspective, which are very opposite to the classical perspective. No? Then, if any limitations of classical perspective, right, can be minimized, no, with these principles, no, with these principles. But even today's managers should consider classical perspective. Principles mentioned in the classical. They cannot abolish them. Right. Therefore, these principles should be used to enhance the effectiveness. No? Effectiveness. Right. Effectiveness. And third one, last one in the early historical trend is management science approach or quantitative approach. Even today, no, these quantitative models techniques are highly used by managers, no, to proceed with the complex managerial problems. Now there are new versions of technology like AI, no, artificial intelligence. Even they can make the decisions. No? AI can make the decisions. Right. Then operation research, operations management, modern ICT, etc. should be jointly used to address these problems, like inventory management, simulation, break-even analysis, forecasting, resource allocation, scheduling. Yeah, in all aspects, managers can use project management, project decisions, tracking production, quality improvement. In all problems, these quantitative methods should be used. That's why in your program, all these subjects are there in a balanced way. There are some less quantitative subjects and more descriptive subjects. No? In chartered dot also, no, in SIMA, the combination is there. No? Both subjects are there, quantitative and non-quantitative, both are there. In MBS also, no, both are there. Right. Then we will start the recent historical trends. This is the first one. No? As mentioned in the diagram. First one is system thinking or system theory or system view or system perspective. There are different names. But you should know these keywords. Right. System thinking is the ability to see different elements in a system and their complex functioning in an interaction. Right. Then our body can be considered as a system, right? Actually, this idea came from biology. System theory initially had in biology. Bertel and Phil is the one who found biological system theory. But same is now applied into business management and open system theory. Right. අවතරින් ආයකගත සිස්ටම් එකක්නේ. ගෙදර ගත්ත සිස්ටම් එකක්. වාලයක් තියෙනවානේ, ෆවුන්ඩේෂන් එකක් තියෙනවා, බිත්ති තියෙනවානේ. වාලේ නැතුණත් ඒක ඉන්කම්ප්ලීට්. කාර් එකක් එහෙමනේ. උලන් ගියොත් එම ධාවනය කරන්න බෑනේ. බයිසිකලයක සිස්ටම් තියෙනවා. Likewise, organizations are also open systems. Then system is interrelated parts functioning as a whole to achieve common purpose or common goals. Then good example is an organization. Right. Then it has subsystems. No, we can consider them some departments as subsystems. Then these subsystems should work together to enhance the results of the system. That is considered as a synergy. එකයි සාමාන්‍ය දෙකයි හතර. සිනර්ජි තිබ්බම ඊට වඩා වැඩියෙන් ගන්න පුළුවන්. අර කමයක් ගත්තත් එමයනේ. කමය ඇදලා තින්නේ කොහොනේ? එදි 10 ගණන් එකතු වෙනානේ. ඕකෙදි වෙනම ගත්තට අපිට කරන්න බෑ වැඩ. එකට ඉන්න ඕනේ. සිනර්ජි කියන්නේ ඒකද? ඒකට ඕන දෙයක් කරන්නේ. නැවක් උනත් මේවා කරන්නේ. අලියෙක් උනත් මේවා කරන්නේ. කරක් උනත් නේ. මේවා කරන්න පුළුවන් නේද? කමාල් පුළුවන් ගස් මේ පෙරලන්න පුළුවන් ගල් පෙරලන්න පුළුවන්. දිනු පුළුවන්. වේගස් වැඩගෙන යන්න පුළුවන්. කේබල් එකක් ගත්තේ. That's the power of teamwork, no? Teamwork in an organization. Right. This one model of system theory, but we have to do small correction. Here you have to have dot lines to show the boundary of the organization system. That is called system boundary. Out of the boundary, you see external element. All the elements outside the system that have potential affect to the part of the system or the entire system. From this external environment only, the organization get resources, no, as inputs, which are converted in the throughput. Then they are getting the outputs. which are also going back to the external environment. Then to complete the system model, feedback is also a must. Right. Then getting information, feedback ensures that organization is having good relationship and it adjusts to the changes in the external environment to ensure its survival and growth. Survival and growth. Right. Okay, then recent historical trend කියලා තමයි ගන්න තාම. ගොඩක් පරණ කාලේ. ආවේ නමුත් අදටත් වළංගු වෙන්නේ. System thinking අවශ්‍යයි. But while having the whole holistic view, we should know how to perform the part. Perform the part by part. ඒ දිනදා වැඩත් එමයනේ. අර සමස්තය දැක්කට ඒකේ කොටස් අනුව තමයි අපි මේ එක finish කරන්නේ. බත් එක කනකොටත් එමයනේ. ටිකක් එකවර කඩට ගන්න නැහැ. කොටස් වලින් ගන්න. නා පොඩ්ඩක්. That's how it. So we have the holistic perspective managers, they should be able to get the task done one by one. ගමනක් කරනකොටත් එහෙමනේ. ව්‍යාපනය කරනවා කියන්නේ අපේ destination එක ගොල්ලෝ ඉතින් යන්නේ කියනකොට අපි යනකොට ප්‍රශ්වාසයෙන් යනවා. මගේ තේ කපන පුතේක තියාගෙන නැසිත් තියාගෙන I only alive by now. Yeah. Should consider the piece also partials. විභාගෙටත් එහෙමනේ. දැන් මේ ඩිග්‍රී එක එක දින අධ්‍යයනනේ සිවිල් එක්සෑම්ස් නේ. ඩොලර් $100 මේ සිංහලත් එහෙම අධ්‍යයන තියෙනවා. අධ්‍යයනයක් ඉවර කළා තමයි යන්නේ ඊළඟට. ඒක ඔක්කොම කරන්න බෑ. නමුත් ඔලි විෂන් එකක් තියෙන්න ඕනේ. I will finish this during this period. No? Likewise. දෙකම අවශ්‍යයි. විෂන් එකක් තියෙන්න විෂන් එක කඩා ගන්න ඕනේ මයිල්ස්ටෝන්ස් වලට දෙකම ඕනේ. සමහරට ආවාසන ඇරලා බලන්නත් වෙන ෆීඩ්බැක් එක. Yeah, you have done as expected. What are the mistakes I did? Then you can use that then, you know, improve in the future. And if there is some theories of ප්‍රායෝගිකව භාවිත කරන්නේ මේවට බයස් වෙන්න හොඳ නැහැ. ප්‍රායෝගික ලෝකයේදී ගලප ගන්න ඕනේ. ඒක තමයි අමාරු. සාර්ථකත්වයට යන්නේ ගලප ගැනීම අවශ්‍යයි. නමුත් theories දන්නේ නැති අයටත් යන්න අමාරුයි. ගලපන්න දෙයක් නැහැ. ඔය යනවා. Right. Next one is contingency perspective or situational perspective or situational view, contingency view. Ekak aruth deyak නෙවෙයි. Then while considering the universalistic perspective, classical perspective as the best way to manage the resources, but at the same time, in facing new situations or situations in future, managers should consider or should be able to identify their unique features. Then for that purpose, they have to use the case by case view, one by one view, not only the universal holistic view. That's what I explained. I said they should come up with similar solutions for similar problems. If there are dissimilar problems, they should come up with new solutions, innovative solutions. That's the meaning of using or managing the businesses or resources based on the contingency view part. We have to use both universal view and the one-to-one view, case by case view. As an example, then in using the leadership style, managers should know, as mentioned in the XY theory, the first manager should realize the nature of the worker being. Whether he is in the S type or Y type. After that, manager should be able to use the style. But another worker may be in another type, the other type. Then the same style should not be used by manager for two workers in the two sides. Two workers presenting two types of behaviors. Right. Then to do that, we have to use the contingency view, situational view. Right. Another example can be given in marketing sales. Looking at the life cycle stage of a product or a service, manager should give 4 phase strategies. No? Right. Then the same strategy should not be given to the two products in 2 different stages in their life cycle. It is also another way of using the system, contingency thinking. Identify strategies different, looking at the stage of the product of the life cycle. One product may be in the introduction stage, another may be in the growth stage, another may be in the maturity stage. Then three different strategies should be used to these products because they are in different three stages in the life cycle. But if products are in the same stage, there is a similar strategy can be used. But they should consider the nature of the product also, no? Nature of the product also, not only the life cycle stage. That's how the contingency thinking should be considered. Right, then these are new practices in management. One is total quality management. These ideas came from the West, from Western quality gurus like Deming, Uran, Crosby, and Feigenbaum. Actually, they have also based on the classical perspectives introduced by Taylor and others. Right, but by the time during the war period, they had the same understanding as mentioned by the scientific management. Then they did not match these quality improvement processes with the people behavior. That's the main limitation. But now, modern companies should match all these quality improvement processes with the people behavior. Without that, they can't successfully implement them. Right. That's what mentioned by total quality management. But the successes were achieved by Japanese companies. To total quality management. Toyota is the number one. Even today, no, Toyota is the number one automobile seller in the world market. No? The reason is it is using the total quality management practices with the teamwork. There are many video presentations about Toyota production system, and you can question to understand this, how Toyota has introduced these things in its system, world-class system. Right. Then total quality management is to provide a total organization, no? Customer-driven organization. But not only the customer focused, there are many other quality management, total quality management principles. Number one is leadership to quality, then process improvement, information management, supply relations, employee relations, benchmarking, Kaizen or continuous improvement, global focus, environmental focus, all should be used together as a system. This is not only a method, it's a philosophy. No? Philosophy. Right now, companies are using lean-based total quality management. Lean also started from Toyota. In Srilanka also, no, at least some companies are using ISO framework. ISO. Sri Lanka standard institution is the body to organize these quality management awards and standards locally. Even ISO, etc., are organized by, there are many other practices like GMP, ISO in different families, environmental safety, health and safety, quality management system, accidents and hazards, food manufacturing practices. There are many. Right. And it has also introduced Sri Lankan national curriculum. It is very similar to the American model, Board-rich model with the 7 dimensions. Annually, it is awarded, but companies should show the results and apply for that to get enough points. Be the winners. No? Within categories are there. Gold medal, gold award, platinum award, like that. Commendation award, certificates, runners up, champions. Champions from winners from manufacturing, winners from services, winners from healthcare, likewise, no? it can be awarded in different categories. But there are many other international awards, no, in quality management. In Japan, Demin Award to commemorate Demin's contribution to Japan. Japanese organizing a Demin Award, Demin Prize. But any organization in the world can apply for it. American award can be applied by American companies. European award, Business Excellence Award can be applied by European companies. But difference of Demin Prize is it is open to any company. Your Sri Lankan company can apply for that, but those dimensions should be full. Okay, that's how total quality management should be found, I think, as a new historical trend, no, in management. This is the technology-driven workplace. Here we should identify these, no, which are also familiar to you, no, customer relationship management, supplier relationship management, outsourcing. Those are highly practiced, no, by modern businesses. Right. Even TQM-oriented organizations should practice this, no, customer relationship management, supply relations, outsourcing. In Toyota, also, ne, outsources, ne, a lot of things, no. It only assemblers. All others are outsourced, supplied by contract, subcontractors like DESO. DESO supplies motor parts, not sensors. Right. There are others who supply glasses. Then tail lights, headlights, wiper, steerings, dashboards. That's supplied, no? It does only assemble. The micro car assembles only, online import from Korea or China. But we better manufacture items also here in the long run, no? That's the best thing, no? Then Toyota uses Andam method, Kanban, tactiles. Then vendors, no, suppliers can identify the inventory level online. Then they can easily replace them continuously, no? Then just in time, all are working now. In Sri Lanka also that can be done, no, but not fully, but in small scale, all should be done. That's what the Toyota system says, that try to practice this based on the capacity, capability. Don't go for the perfection. Even Toyota system is not perfect, no. It says that try to improve the quality as you can based on the current time, availability of resources, and based on your capability. Then in future you will keep it up, no. Come to the world standard. That's the philosophy. But everybody should be engaged by the management. Right, then next one, last one, we identified here is the collaborations, no, business collaboration. But it started from the software developers in the world. But now this is collaborations. Or strategic partnering is used in any area, even in retail, in banks, right, in airlines, in manufacturing, in service, all sectors, universities, schools, collaborations are must to stay competitive in the market and to satisfy the customers, no? And to have loyal customers. Like this one, we can manage. They are using not only money, no, cards. Then they collaborate each other. They have links with commercial brands, finance companies to fulfill that. And they have direct contacts with farmers to buy fruits and vegetables. Then fish from fishermen. Then that allows us to buy quality products, fresh products at a cheaper price. But they should do this, no, further and further. You should feel that they are doing this genuinely. No? That's the social responsibility of the towards our nation. No? They should use more local resources. They should help empower our local farmers. Sometimes they should invest in wheat cultivation. It is possible, I think, no? In a northeastern area, no? We can cultivate no Galle. They should do research, agri research. Government should promote them. All the time we can't import these, no, from other nations. කරන්නේ මේ තේත් පිටරටෙන් ගෙනපු කාලයක් තිබුණේ ගම්මිරිසොත් ගෙනපු කාලයක් තිබුණේ කහ ගෙනාව බෞද්ධ කුටිය ගෙනාව ජාතික කුටිය ගෙනාව සරුංගල් ගෙනාව හැමදේම ගෙනාව ඔබිස්ලා ඒකයි දැන් කරන්නේ මේ එක්ස්පෝර්ට් කරන ඒවාට වැඩිපුර කොමිස් දෙන්න ඕනේ පාලකයන්ට එහෙම කරොත් එක්ස්පෝර්ට්ස් වැඩි දැන් ඉම්පෝර්ට්ස් වලට ගන්න කොමිස් අපි දෙන්න එක්ස්පෝර්ටර්ස්ලා අපේ එක්ස්පෝර්ට් දෙය ගන්න මෙච්චර කමිෂන් එකක් දෙනවා ඔබතුමාලා ටික කරලා ලස්සනට හරි then everything would be exported, no, from here. That's the motivation of the leaders, not rulers, policymakers. Then people should identify their motivation better. No? They should be able to change their minds. Lanka didra ke karan ka apa veno kohmari na karne. Tagara the Pilendota theme ne, but we increase the prices unexpected, but we did not buy. No? Now vegetable prices are very low. One reason is that there can be cultivations. The other one is the demand. Demand. Supply demand should be matched. Then we have the power as consumers, people in the country. But we have to sacrifice. We should sacrifice something to gain another thing. Right. That's how management concepts, these theories should be considered for our own betterment, development. Not only for examination purpose, learning purpose. We have to use them. Then that's the end of the handout. Then we will have a break for about 15 minutes. Coming back, we will do some other activities. About half is over, no? But during that, we finish the whole handout. I hope you understood, no? නියම විදිහට appropriate විදිහට communication අඩුවේ මුත්තේ වැඩි මුත්තේ ගන්න. That's the management, no? Meaning. අශයට අවශ්‍ය විදිහට කරන්න. Management කියන්නේ ඒක වැඩි මුත්තද නේ අඩුවේ මුත්තද. විදා ගන්න ඕනේ නෝ විදා ගන්න ඕනේ. විනෝද වෙන්න ඕනේ විනෝද වෙන්න වැඩ කරනකොට වැඩ කරන්න. ඔය පටල ගන්න හොඳ නේ. That's the meaning of management. Right, we will have such a break, then coming back we will continue, right? If you don't like to do, then you may remain here. Right? We have to do a quiz also, no? So the break we will do that. Attend and register game, no, but I don't. distribute now. After the break, I will share this. So this is a hybrid class, no online members, no? Or in there were one or two, no. Then no point of having teams, no? Wasting data. They have to make sure that whether there are members or not, no? But anyhow, if there are members, they can hear, no? Mic is on. Oh, responses were by earlier I had same hybrid class, then there were about 6-7 members. They actively participated from the Arabian countries. We had a quiz also. They answered through online method. You may have 2 signatures, sir. Same row, 2 signatures. But the tutorial is not applicable for this class. But anyhow, you better have 2 signatures, sir. What's the time given for our class? 3 to 7 or 3 to 6 or 3:15 to 6:15? It's mentioned on the sheet, no? 3 to 6. Mentioned on the first sheet. 3 to 6. Is 7? Huh? 7? 3 to 7? Huh? 4 hours. My God. It's too much. But a subject take a macaron bad. Then tutorials can be applicable based on 2 signatures in your. But normally this was supposed to be have in the morning, no? I don't have a morning time. But I will be free from early April. Then we will reschedule. Normally 8:12 was given. 8:12 morning was given. But Jennifer Miss is doing a marvelous job, no? Scheduling, no? It's a very difficult task. There are many subjects, many classes. Yes, sir. Wait now, the මේ පොඩ්ඩක් මේ එදී ඉන්නේ සබ් එකේ දෙක ගියා කියන්නේ එන්න හරි එන්න කොහෙද යන්නේ මේ අවකන පැත්තද කිරියල්ල නේ හරි හරි You may get ready to share learning for you. You covered many things, no? You can easily select one. But be very specific. A member should return. What you had in the morning, marketing? Done by Amlamis, Japura. How is she? Doing very well? Very cooperative? Oh, very methodical. Formal. Huh? Using the Kotlas book? Philip Kotlas book is recommended. No, many things. Earlier, Vaninayak did, no? The Vaninayak from Kerala did, no? Earlier. Yeah, he is now Dean, he is busy. She is good, no? Very dedicated. They are studied in Nottingham also, no? He is in Nottingham, UK. I went for the interview also, professional interview. I was like, then I asked questions also. Then chairman was the vice chancellor. UGC chairman, now chairman was the vice chancellor. Lanka. They made some jokes also at just for a fun purpose. Maintain the interview relationship. I also studied in Japura. I am junior to them. I am a junior to them. In Sri Lanka also now there's high demand for degrees, no? Than before, no? Earlier chartered those professional exams were recognized, no? Now, as in developed countries, high demand for degrees, no? Isn't that? But still, they are having the old passion. Both are considered. Both should be there to have a job, better job. Then I will start, then others will join, no? This way. Took about 50. But I'll consider the numbers. 001 is available today. 001. But be careful, the correct number should be mentioned. I have mentioned on the number, not the names. Right, then last time absent, 001 was absent during the last month. Then 002 also absent on the last time. 003 present in the last time. Still maybe in out. Maybe in the canteen. Anyhow, you will give one more chance. Right, next one is 004. You presented last time, then what's your today's learning point? 004.
22 size purpose. 22 size purpose.
Quantitative.
Yes.
All right.
Under the management characteristic, over time we can mainly separate under historical trend and recent historical trends. Considering the historical trends, there were three purposes: classical, humanistic, and quantitative. Quantitative purpose is provide the way to complicate managerial problem by using the application by mathematics, statistics, and other quantitative techniques for operation and research, operation management, and IT.
Yeah, that's all.
Yes.
Yeah, that's the third perspective. No, considered last one considered under the early historical trends. Then using this perspective, managers can use quantitative techniques. No, to address complex problems, managerial problems. Some areas, as examples, the inventory management, simulation, break-even analysis, forecasting, tracking production, quality management, quality control. What is linear programming, non-linear programming are some areas. Now, under this, they have to use, consider operation research, operation management, and ICT. But they involve mathematics, statistics, and other quantitative subjects. Even today, artificial intelligence also can be used. Right, number 5, 005. Last time present as presented. Right, then 006. Last time absent. 007. Last time absent. Majority is not coming. Have they come to the class in the morning? No. But as per the register, there are about 40. 30 students. Right, then next one 008. Last time presented. What's today's answer?
This is focusing on the total organization, the quality and from the content to the benefit, the quality of the process and offering the high quality value to the customer. There is an organization in Japan which also offers quality development standards.
Today, I think, irrespective of the industry name, most companies are using continuous improvement methods. Right. Next one 009.
Major forces influencing organizations and the management practice. There are three types: social forces, economic forces, and political forces. Social forces refers to the aspects of a culture that guide and influence relationship among the people. Economic forces pertain to the availability, production, and distribution of resources in a society. And lastly, political forces refers to the influence of political and legal institutions of people and organizations.
10. Right. Yeah, please tell your answer.
Study historical trends. Classical illustrative principles. Division of labor, authority and responsibility, discipline, unity of command, unity of direction, combination of individual interest, communication interest, action, path, centralization. Okay.
Yeah, these are some of the universal principles, introduced by Favor, Yeah, the main focus of these, introducing these is to have a total organization, in the work. Likewise, you have to, produce the things creatively. Don't dictate the same thing given in the hand of. Next one 11. 011.
The management perspective has significantly over time affecting changes in organizational practices, economic conditions, and technological advances. Management perspective is divided into two main categories. First is early historical trends. Second one is recent historical trends. Early historical trends has three main perspectives. Those are classical perspective, science perspective. Recent historical trends has five main elements. Those are system thinking, contingency view, total quality management, technology-driven workplace, open collaborative innovation.
Right. This one number 12.
In early historical trends. In early historical trends, there are three major components: classical perspective, human beings perspective, and quantitative management perspective. In classical perspectives, there are three major components. In scientific management, it's founded by Taylor in 1856. It's talking about emphasize jobs and management practices to improve the efficiency and labor productivity.
Right. Next one is 30. 013.
relationship management, outsourcing, and supply chain management. In customer relationship management, they use IT to keep close with the customers. It's a large amount of customer data. In outsourcing, there's the content of selective functional activities and to other organizations that can do work more cost efficiently. In supply chain management, they manage sequence of supplies and purchases, covering all the stages of processing from obtaining raw materials to distributing the finished goods to customers.
The 13, no? Number 13. Next one, 14. 1, 4.
Management practice. System. Human body. Three categories. Like social forces, economic forces, political forces. Firstly, the social force is the aspect of cultural side and influence relation among the people. For example, considering religious like that. Second one is economic focus. That is considered the organization resource, how to apply the resources to achieve their goals, like reduce the waste items, like that. Third one is political focus. It is influence of political and legal institutions on the people organization. Considering government regulations, political systems, like that.
You are 14, no? The next one is 15. Last time you were absent, no? Yes, continue. Yes.
Operation management, forecasting, inventory modeling, inventory allocations, scheduling, simulation, operation research, system, mathematical modeling, and building.
Next one is 16. Absent. Both days absent. 17. Absent. Both days. 18. Absent. 19. 20.
Including product, services, and culture in which the labor. There are four significant elements of quality management. They are employee customer focus, benchmarking, and continuous of improvement. Total quality management can be summarized as a management system for a customer focused organization that involves all employees in organization.
Next one 21. You absent on the last day, no? Please continue. Yeah.
21.
21. What's your name? One Patiranagi. 22. 21 is absent, no? On both the days. Now 22. Your chance again.
Three type of organization: social forces, economic and political. And then two type of perspective, early historical and recent historical. Then we can categorize three early historical, classical, cumulative, and management social perspective. Then recently historical can categorize five type of system thinking, thinking, total quantity management, total technology, then open consideration, and
Collaboration.
yes, collaboration.
Right. Then about these numbers, 23. Absent on both these. 24. Absent on both. 25. Absent on 26. Then 27. Absent. 28. 29. 30. The absences are. How many presented? Three, ne? Right. Okay. That's why one seems lacking. Right. You are right. Yeah. What's your answer?
We would like to explain major force influencing organization and management practice. It leading to three forces. First, social forces. It means refer to aspect of a culture that guide and influence relationship among people. Second is economic forces. Need pertain to availability, production, and distribution of resources in the society. And third one is political forces. It means refer to the influences of political and legal institution on people and organizations.
That's all answered, no? From this class. The total number is 12. Yeah, there are 12 signatures. Morning, there were 20. 8 are missing. Morning, there were 20 in the class. Now, 8. In the morning? Huh? 13. Head count? Then who did not answer? You did not. You are a newcomer.
Yeah.
What's your number? No, India, finally, I wanted to have a physical count. What's your name? But you have not signed here today, no?
Yeah.
You need to sign.
Yeah.
One name?
Yeah.
Later you will get a number. Right, then can you have a small learning point about today's, from the today's lesson? To see what you learned. In a similar way as others did, but you can have a new point. One. This may be a strain assessment. Most others are not doing this, no? But I thought of
exemption අරගෙන ආපු යුනිවර්සිටි එකේ exemption අරගෙන ආපු අය මම දැන් මේ ක්ලාස්
that's the reason. This is a common subject and in that program.
මෙතන ඉන්නේ chartered වලින් exemption ගන්න.
That's the reason. They need not to come here, no? Officer. Right. Yeah, that's the mean India exemptions, no?
Yes.
Subject to subject exemption should be considered. Then those are not need not to do this one again. That may be the reason. Right. And anyhow, I wanted to confirm that. Otherwise, that is our duty not to inform, explain the situation. Right. Then can you share a small learning point from any area?
Relation movements.
What is relation?
Human relation. Based on the idea that truly effectively customer comes from the within the individual workers rather than the arbitration control.
That is about human relations movement. What mainly happened during that time? What made that? What constituted or what made this movement? As summarized there.
Increase the worker satisfaction.
Now, what contributed to the human relation movement? As a result of what the human relation movement evolved. Huh? I have mentioned that. Oh, what should be considered under that? Mainly, what should be considered under human relations movement? What contribution should be mentioned, reminded? Some studies were carried out, no? During this period. What are those studies? Carried out about worker behavior, employee behavior. In Chicago, no? In Chicago. Hawthorne. In the Western Electrical Factory, no? Factory. In America, USA. Even you can Google for that, not to get more information. Elton, Mayo and others carried out this. What is that? Hawthorne studies, no? As a result of the Hawthorne findings, this human relations movement emerged, no? Right. The next one is human resource perspective, no? Human resource, where the psychological theories should be considered. The last one is behavioral science perspective. First one is early advocates. Oh, can you tell otherwise what Mary Parker Follett has emphasized? Mary Parker Follett or Chester Bernard under the early advocates, so as the early advocates. Because this capacity should be developed, no? Then this assignment or individual quiz is done not only to check your knowledge, memory, but help you to develop your skills, then communication, presentation, thinking, critical thinking, summarizing, analyzing all capacities, also skills also can be developed. මේක ඉස්කෝල වලටත් කරන්න ඕනේ ළමයිගෙන් අහන්න ඕනේ. හැබැයි වැඩේ ළමයි 300ක් ඉන්නවා 40ක් ඉන්නවා නම් තමයි කරන්නේ. This is the best thing, no? From the school level, we have to get ready there to improve the communication. Critical thinking තමයි ඕනේ වෙන්නේ. Thinking. School level එකේ නහදන්න. ඒකම කරාට පස්සේ ළමයිගෙන් අහන්න මොනවද ඉගෙන ගත්තේ? නැත්තම් ටීචර් විතරක් කියලා කියපුවම හරියන්නේ ළමයි වගේ ගුල්ලෝ මේ බිල්ල වගේ ඉඳලා යනවා. ටීචර් තමයි කමියුනිකේට් කරන්නේ. මදේව කියනවා ලර්නින් අවුට්කම්ස් තියෙනවා ආපස්සේ ෆීඩ්බැක් එකක් දෙනවා. කොහොම කියන උදාහරණයක් කියනවා. ටීචින් නොදයි but students are not learning. ළමයි ඉගෙන ගත්තත් වැඩන්නේ ඒක ප්‍රසන්ට් කරන්න බෑ. එයාම අවස්ථාවක කමියුනිකේට් කරන්න බෑනේ වැඩන්නේ. මොන භාෂාව සිංහල හැටි කමන්නේ කියන්නේ. මම කැමති සිංහලෙන් උගන්වන්න ලංකාවේ පාඨමාලා දෙමළෙන් මම භාෂාව උගන්වන්න වඩා හොඳයි. මම කරන්නේ නැහැ. මොකද කඩේ යනගෙන කරන්නේ අධ්‍යාපනයත් එන්නේ. සිංහල හැටි කමන්නේ කියන්නේ කමියුනිකේෂන් මොන භාෂාවෙන් කරන්නේ.
Very powerful.
Yeah.
But the presentation and share the global among the managers. Approach to leadership strengths and the importance of the people. Rather than the engineering techniques. Hence the applicable for the modern managers during the dealing with the changes in today's global environment.
Even today, those ideas are considered by us, by managers. No? The worker participation, leadership, team management, all should be done to match with the requirements of the global marketplace. And also she defined management as an art of getting tasks through others. Right. Next time, get ready. Try to understand the purpose of this assessment. It's not that difficult, no? But you have to adjust to this. You should be familiar with this. Then you can easily proceed. In a similar way, you have to do your own studies also, no? Without communicate කරන්නේ වෙනත් අය එක්කනේ තමන්ගේ මනසත් එක්ක. මනසත් එක්ක මෙනෙහි කර කතා කර වගේ කතා කරන්නේ නැත්තද? මනසින් කතා කර තමයි පාඩම් කරන්නේ. ඒක තමයි අවබෝධය. නැත්තම් නිදි යනවා. වැඩක් නැහැ අනේ කොච්චර කියුවා. ධාරණය වෙන්නේ නැහැ. ඒ ධාරණ ශක්තිය අවශ්‍යයි. ආතර ශක්තිය. දැන් ඒවා මොට වෙලා තියෙන්නේ ෆෝන් වලමයි ඉන්නේ. ගේම්ස් ෆෝන්ස් යට යාන්ත්‍ර වගේ වැඩ කරන්නේ. එතකොට මොලේ විකෘතිය. The new generation not bother about critical thing. ඒ ලෙවල් ටියුෂන් වලින් තමයි මම කරන්නේ. යාන්ත්‍රික තුනලම. ඒ ලෙවල් පාස් වෙන්නේ නැත්නම් එහෙම නේද? දැන් තියෙන තත්ත්වෙනේ. නිර්මාණශීලී ලියුවොත් එම්බ මාකට් ස්කීම් එකේ තියෙන විදිහට ලියන්න. Then only you will get the highest marks. Right. ඔලෙල්ලෝ ටිකක් නිදාසේ ලිව්වයි. This is the most difficult one. This is great one. Right, then all engage, you know? Right. Then in this way we will finish our quiz today. 5:30. Right, then we will do something based on the e-book. And then we better form teams, no? This would be the permanent size of this class. Then we will have 4-member teams or 5-member? Huh? Do you have teams set for other subjects? Right. Then, it's very difficult to have members. But from present members, available members, for this subject, I will communicate some teams since there are 13. Yeah, we will have 5-member teams. In the last one, there can be 3. 3 are enough, no? Right. Then, if any newcomers, you can get joined them to the team having now 3 members. Right. Then first 5 are T. Silva, number 3, R. Fernando, number 4, N.D. Silva, number 5, Ashini, number 8, and Abhinaya, number 9, can be in team 1. Those are the 5 members in team 1. Indicate the team as team 1. Right, then the second team is with these members. Sampath, number 10, Koti Singha, number 11, R.C. Pereira, number 12, Selvache Selvi, right, number 13, and Yumika, number 14. Those are the other 5 in team 2. One has not signed. Then yourself and these 2. 20 Samara Vikraman, Kumari 22. Right? MC Kumari 22, 20 Samara Vikraman and Nuan. Can be in the team 3 right now. But if any newcomers, you can get joined them. Right, then follow the guidelines given in the course outline about the team assignment. It was given to prepare a concept book on to cover the 10 concepts. Right. Then to present the write-up of one concept, you can use 2 pages. 2 pages. 1 page about the principle writing. The other one is about the way it is applied by managers in organizations. Then likewise, the 10 concepts should be mentioned in the body part of the report. But there are some other pages also. You can read the book. Right. Finally, you may have overall conclusion and learning points also about the assignment from the work. When once started, you may face some practical difficulties, questions. Then please ask from me how to address these in other classes. But to know these, you have to start the work. Then in starting the work, the team members should gather information, at least from by referring the 4 ebooks I mentioned, uploaded. Then jot down them roughly, then organize them in a flow as the body part of the assignment. Then you have to fill other pages also to be a report. Then follow the APA style to cite and prepare the references. The American Psychological Association guidelines. Same should be used in other assignments also. Assignments. At first, do the submission by the deadline. Deadline is set as the 12th week, I think. 12th week. When you do the 12th lesson, on that day you have to upload the final PDF copy to the course page of this subject. You can go up to 11:59 of that day. Don't wait till the last moment. Then depending on the Time schedule, if any oral presentation, I will communicate that after the written report submission. Okay, then now okay, no, we form the teams. But subject to subject membership is different, no? Then you have to have teams based on that subject, different. We did another case, no, from here, from this also, no, that day. Saying that we would do the lesson today. We have to refresh it then. We consider the electricity workers, no, organization. Or any other thing. The bureaucracy happening in that electricity outlet, no? Or any other thing. We need only that small case, no, about Mr. Wilson. But other than that, I can't remember. I am doing some similar classes. Huh? The other case. What is that? Title? Huh?
Management behavior.
Profession. Right. All relevant to the introduction session. Then we can do this. But I ask you to have the written answers, written answers. Management is a profession, no? You should accept that it is a profession, no? Manager should have this professional code of ethics. But they should use integrity, honesty. They should develop competence, conduct discussions professionally. But use the information given in the case also. Somewhat boring. Boring me also. We will do this. Small caselet. Electricity workers kick out bureaucratic management in Valencia state. Right. Similar things are happening in Sri Lanka also. There are a lot of power cuts, strikes. Stand. To me. Case title is electricity workers kick out bureaucratic management in Valencia state. Right. Any questions? You can remind the CB workers here, no? CB. They may have similar circumstances, time to time. There are strong unions, no? Unions. Not only the CEP, but in many in universities also. In the healthcare, everywhere there are powerful unions in Sri Lanka. No questions asked, no? But I'll give a question, then identified or now briefly explained. Identification is not enough. Briefly explain. Briefly explain. 5 reasons briefly explain 5 reasons for the issues or problems. For the issues or problems, highlighted in this case, highlighted in this caselet. Right. That is. Electrical sector workers, after struggle against the managerial bureaucracy of this entities, conveyed their satisfaction with the announcement by regarding the electrical sector. The bureaucracy has revealed itself in the large failures in the electrical service and in the violation of rights of workers. In this respect, on Friday morning at the headquarters, workers carried out a protest. I am not promoting the strikes, right? But we have to study this case, no? Impartial. Out with the bosses for being incompetent, as of the call, workers call managers. Shouted dozens of electrical sector workers in this protest demanding new and more efficient authorities capable of looking for solutions to the power cuts or blackouts that daily leaves thousands of residents without electricity. Right. The problems are happening here. Therefore, this case highlights the importance of managers, managers. The protest also demanded the rehire of a group of workers and some engineers who justly fired by management. The protest culminated in the withdrawal of various managers and directors who used their vehicles to open paths between crowds of employees who sang loudly to disturb them. The workers hugged and applauded, satisfied by the departure of some bureaucrats from those positions, whom they blamed for improvability around the complete process of the failures in the electrical system and inefficiency, confronting about maintenance of these power lines, transformers, and other infrastructure. The workers also pointed out that the management was indifferent. He also said, no, that everywhere throughout the country, I think the cables are now replaced with rubber cables. No? This could have been done earlier, no? Millions of money wasted. And it takes time. They are getting naughty and all. No? People are suffering. No? In other countries, they started with the rubber cables, but cables. Now it is a waste from billions of money, public money. No? But the workers also pointed out that management was indifferent to their complaints of attacks by electricity customers over the service failures and was either in the discussion about the collective content. But then the customers come and blame the workers, no, not the management. They are hiding. They say that today we have taken control, just as the president has said in his speeches. We are doing this in order to guarantee a service to the people and provide a solution to the problems. We want to provide a timeline of when the electricity will be suspended and why something that the authorities should not do. Said by this union leader, right? The electricians accuse the management of keeping such information from the community, hiding them. The situation which has proved annoyance in the population of not knowing how long this will last, how that will last. Workers also said that management did not care that this was happening, and it is the workers who suffer the consequences, who are the victims of abuse and insult by people from various communities. That's a dimension of our also. The workers stress that they are prepared to create a timeline of rationing and make it public, as the population has the right to know such information, so that they can necessary provisions, while electrical problems in the country are being solved. Electrical workers agree with the statement by Chavez that the problem isn't just technical, the problem is also political. Yeah, behavioral, not political. Much of the management in the electrical companies are in not all of the places, but there is a not many that resist the full participation of the work. Right. Then, based on the information given, reminding the concepts we studied in the second lesson and in the maybe in the first lesson, you have to identify and briefly explain 5 reasons or 5 problem areas. This case. Yeah, what's the starting point? One starting point. When you look at this, it seems that the managers or bureaucrats or management of this institution has not considered the insights given in the humanistic perspective. Humanistic. And another one, they are not considering this these operations based on the system thinking. Right. Likewise, you can give those 5 explanations. Right. One reason is what? The management of this organization, the managers or management of this organization seems only considering technical dimensions, technical dimensions in making their decisions, and to enhance the performance of the organization. It seems that performance of the organization hence it seems that the management has not considered the human dimensions, proposed or introduced by the humanistic perspective of management, humanistic perspective in management or of management. That is the start. But then after that, even you can give specific points. Then next one. It seems that managers of this organization or the management need not use that organization again. The management is not vigilant about the vigilant or affected about the social organizations of electrical workers, social organizations and informal relations of electrical sector workers, informal relations, etc. of electrical sector workers, through which the workers may organize and respond, to which the workers may organize and respond to the management against any unfair treatment, that they perceive. These were much displayed, no? These were much highlighted. In the human relations movement. The human relations movement backed by the Hawthorne findings. Backed by the Hawthorne findings. Backed by the Hawthorne findings. EDF. Or initiated by the Hawthorne findings. Right. Then likewise we can use some other points. But most can be given from the humanistic perspective. No? The bureaucrats have not considered the human orientation. Because of that, they are not worrying about the customer complaints. No? Customers are the ultimate human being. No? Ultimate group be satisfied. Even by a public entity. No? Even in Sri Lanka, the public servant, most public servants do not have that understanding. When you go to get the service of a public entity, no? You will do that. No? Public bank is a different. No, they have to do that. Public banks, by nature, as in private banks, they have to do. But still, we see a difference, no, between public banks and private banks. Right. The bureaucracy is essential, but it should not be misused, no, at the cost of employees and customers. Right. Likewise, you can have some other points. No? Another one, if we consider the psychological theories mentioned, right? It seems that judgment management it seems that modest within language use karano. It also seems that the management And next one has not recognized the different human needs. How does recognize different human needs expected by employees as proposed in the human resources perspective, where they need to fulfill the all five needs in a hierarchical way. In a hierarchical way. එහෙම හිතන්නේ නැතිද තමයි මේ වර්කර්ස්ලා ඒ විදිහට ඒ කට්ටිය ඒවා ලැබෙන්නේ නැතිද තමයි ඕගනයිස් වෙලා තියෙන යූනියන්ස් හරහානේ. ඒතර මේ theories අපි use කරන්න ඕනේ problems ඇති වෙන්න කලින් proactive. That's why we study these, no? We should use them to minimize problems, issues, especially when we work with people, no? Minimize them. It is expected from managers. They are responsible for that. Likewise, you can have you can use the system theory also here, no? Another observation is that the managers, always you have to consider managers. The managers of this organization has not conceptualized this entity as an open system, has not conceptualized or has not thought of this entity or has not conceptualized this entity as an open system. Their decisions should be made. Their decisions should be made to satisfy different stakeholder needs, including employees and customers. Electrical employees and electrical customers, including within bracket you can mention, no? Electrical employees and electrical customers. Including within bracket, no? Expectations of electrical workers and employees. The sentence is complete. That because here we highlighted the poor consideration of the system, thinking about the operations of and the performance of this entity to satisfy different stakeholder expectations. But here we can easily identify the two stakeholder groups, no? Employees' expectations and electrical customers' expectations. They have not been fulfilled. That's why these problems are happening, no? Burden issue is what? Workers are organizing, no? To present their demands and grievances against management through strikes, picketing, strikes. Right now we identified 4 or 5. Then there should be another one. What is that? Quantitative techniques use करा आपने ये वाले वाले to predict demand and to what is called to improve processes and infrastructure is sometimes it is essential to use quantitative means. No? Right. Then they can give correct figures, information, then to make decisions. We don't such a thing. Likewise, you can do that. Then through these, no, the quantitative research evidence, the management or the decision makers can plan future demands and service failures. Then how many transformations should be set up? Right. What are the areas where power failures are frequently happening? No, or operational, strategic, tactical decisions should be made using quantitative methods and the results given by them. But in this organization, no such indications, no, as per the case. Even CEP, no, should use, no, that's the role of engineers, no, they should use science quantitative techniques. Even water board should do. But it seems that no such use of the new technologies and quantitative techniques, ICT, those should be used, no? Then only I think even service, no, capacities, what is called delivery, all can be managed. That's because figure should be used, especially by an institution like this, no? Then engineering is an engineering organization. Then they should use quantitative techniques. Now I think even we can pay bills, no, by online methods, no? Those facilities are here. Because of that, I think a lot of infrastructure and the same problems might be happening. The evidences should be used, not to make decisions, to predict future demand, to expand the innovations, right? And to meet the supply, no? So meet the demand through the supply. They have to use a different quantitative method techniques, even modern ICT should be used. Even here, but they have not predicted, no, because of that, they might, those days, I think, decades ago, they might use the cable lines, no, by the time, but in, if they have researched them, even by the time, in other countries, the rubber cables might be used. They have done simple study, observations, then by the time, during our childhood, the Srilanka electricity board might use them, no, straight away, without using. Cables are very dangerous, no? How many lives might be sacrificed, no, during this, no? With the power shortages, so what is called again? Current failure. Satu question मैंने ये लगे दी बंदा का मैं टॉपिक कटा है मैं ये केबल लेते हैं normally words are not code now when it happened because of the loose cables. What could they have been prevented? Right to relation. They have to, I mean, plan not for the current, no, current days, for the years to come. For 10 to 20 years, they have to have the strategic plans, no? Right. Then system thinking is essential. Use of modern technologies to make decisions, quantitative techniques, right, is essential. Even government sector, the new advanced data management techniques should be used. Now I think there's an improvement, no, in these aspects in Sri Lanka also, no, government organization or most systems are automated. they are using modern technologies. But even the weight should be given not only to the technology, no? The human orientation is a must, no? They are courtesy, customer responsiveness, right? Those should be the number one, no? Human orientation in servicing customers, civilians. Then we have to improve our attitudes about the customers and employees. No? That is number one. Whatever the technology no, we are using. Otherwise, we can't gain results no, from the new technology unless our minds are not good, positive. Right, that's why the problem areas with the reasons through our concepts studied in the lesson should be used to study this case. It's about unnecessary bureaucracy, especially held in top management.